Castlemilk Drive and waiting on the march, but denied trying to break the cordon or shouting sectarian abuse or inciting others to act in that way. A number of police gave evidence at the trial, pinpointing that one of the guys that were accused as the ringleader who ordered the 100 plus crowd to charge at officers. The
Sorry
trial
for laughing. Sorry for laughing.
You need to laugh because it's atrocious. You need to laugh.
The emotive language that these newspapers use is just unbelievable. Answer me a question, Chris. This was a demonstration against the march.
Yeah.
Yeah? And as far as I'm led to believe, in the country that I still call my home, we're allowed to demonstrate.
Yes.
Well, that's it.
You are allowed to demonstrate, but the Police Scotland are, when at a demonstration out in the street, Police Scotland have become very good at inciting the trouble instead of allowing the kind of demonstration to go ahead peacefully. Their officers are really, the majority of the time, responsible for inciting it. They bring a sense of kind of they make people feel threatened in the way they stand in their posture when they're out in the street, which they shouldn't be, but they do it, and I think they do it deliberately. But to finish off this report, right, it says the trial heard that the march, which was due to move through Castlemilk to Rutherglen, had to be abandoned because of concerns for public safety. Sheriff Sam Cathcart deferred sentence until next month. So we've got two loyalists here that police are pinpointing. Police are pinpointing two loyalists from a crowd of over 100 people and saying these two loyalists are responsible for inciting a riot and leading this 100 or so loyalist demonstration to break police cordons.
What was the date? Can you repeat the date of it? The march and the demonstration, Chris?
Oh, it doesn't mention in the report. I cannot remember.
It was last year, though, wasn't it?
It
was last year. Yeah, I remember seeing video footage in that, and it was a storm in a teacup. It was "Thou shalt not pass." That was the sort of standpoint that the demonstrators took.
Of course, it was.
And if the police aren't able to cope with that, how do they cope with 50,000 at Ibrox? How do they cope with 40-odd thousand Hampden at an Old Firm game or something like that? You know, and this was the most frightened he had ever been in his 16 years on the force.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'll tell you what, he better not walk up Wishy Main Street on a Friday night. So I'll tell you that.
I know it's. I can't imagine that would be anyone's most frightening day of 16 years in the police force. I mean, it's one of these things. If I drop this little line in here or this little buzzword when I'm up testifying against these two guys, the judge has got to kind of side with the police. I think it's these kind of things that police know are kind of putting the nails in the coffin here. You know, most frightening day. These guys incited this and that, sectarian hatred and blah 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 blah. You know, I think in a courtroom these things are damning.
Well, if you think about a courtroom, the barrister stands up, or the advocate or whatever, and he says something, and the judge says, you can't say that, withdraw that remark. But that remark is then out there in the ether. That then has sunk in to people's minds. I mean, I think I've told you before, Chris, I lived in Manchester for a long time. I was living in Manchester, the UEFA Cup final.
All right.
And then there was the trouble with that, and then there was a court cases. Remember, they were kicking doors in at 5 o'clock in the morning, dragging people back down to Manchester and all the rest of it. There was less people arrested at that football match than what there was at that concert. That's the first fact I always throw out. The second fact that I throw out is the judge, in his infinite wisdom in Manchester, said they caused more damage in Manchester since the Luftwaffe bombed. And then somebody turned around and sort of pointed out, but wait a minute, what about the IRA bomb that took out the centre of Manchester? He had then to go public and apologise about it.
Oh,
these people talk through their arses. They really do. But it's lovely sound bites, like politicians, great sound bites. Let's grab the imagination of everybody here. And people forget. But we don't forget. We are not sheep. We do not forget. And we will keep pulling you up for the mistakes that you make and for the detrimental comments you're always making about us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, so Folks, thank you for tuning in. There's been a lot of people just come in recently, so just taking a put you in the picture here. You will be tuning. You are already tuning in because you know that tonight is an exclusive broadcast in regards to the three Scottish soldiers who lost their lives, White Bray, Squares Hill, Ligonier, Belfast, on Wednesday, March 10th, 1971. That's why we're here tonight, and that's just what we are talking about. Downstairs in the PO Community Hub, we've got family members who are going to give us interviews just after 8 o'clock tonight, so that's about 40 minutes away. I'm sitting here and I've got the privilege to be sitting here with the Historical Enquiry Report into the three boys' deaths in front of me. I've had a very good read at it, and there's a lot of points that I'm going to bring up from it throughout the evening. It will spark some debate, or a lot of debate, within the chat room or wherever you're listening from. If you want to bring any of your opinions into it, then you can get in touch with us through Twitter, Facebook. You can email studio@polcommunityradio.com, and that will come straight to myself, or you can phone us live on 0141 416 16 and 90. We're going to open tonight's Three Scottish Soldiers broadcast with the song that was written for the Three Scottish Soldiers, and we're going to play that for you now, folks.
Three boys came to Belfast, their country to serve. They suffered a fate that no man should deserve, for they were of duty and out for the day. But all they were victims of the IRA. They're sleeping in heavenly peace. Were over, their duty was done. Only God knew when the day had begun. The three Scottish soldiers would each lose their lives for being our strife. They're sleeping in heavenly peace, sleeping in heavenly peace. Now the three lay together in that dark country road, still friends by death. They stood by the code for serving our country with honor and pride. Let's be grateful in Belfast, they stood by our side. They're sleeping in heavenly peace, sleeping in heavenly peace. To the people in Scotland, my God, what a blow. They can't understand who could sink so low. They think here in Belfast there was nothing but scorn for the the Queen's colors these three boys had worn. If only they knew how we cried when we learned how these boys had died. We must stand firm and Ulster. We must make a play. The three Scottish soldiers have not died in vain. We must show the whole country that Ulster is true. And the good people here love the red, white and blue. Let's never forget what it costs to make sure our Ulster's not lost.
You're listening to PUL Community Radio. Music, news, debates, banter, and views. Call now on 0141 416 1690. PUL Community Radio. Putting the unity back in community.
Thank you for joining the PO Community Radio, broadcasting live again tonight from the PO Community Hub. You'll be listening to myself, Chris, and Ian. Folks, that was a song written in regards to the Three Scottish Soldiers, for the Three Scottish Soldiers who lost their life on the 10th of March 1971 at the White Braes, Square Hills, Ligonier and Belfast. There were three Scottish soldiers serving with the Royal Highland Fusiliers. So far, no one has been made responsible for their murders. The police have never formally had someone, and this leaves a bitter taste in many people's throats, as you can imagine.
Well, when you think what they try to do to appease the other side, I mean, there was a 66-year-old ex-paratrooper was arrested a few months ago for something that happened on Bloody Sunday. Correct. So they've kept that one going, but yet this is another one that's just going to be brushed into the corners.
Well, Ian, if I could just now, right, I'm sitting here with the Historical Enquiry Report into the three boys' deaths, and the role and function of the Historical Enquiries team. It clearly states here, the Historical Enquiry team was created in 2005 and began work at the end of January 2006. It has three objectives. Now I'm going to list these three here, just as they're written. To assist in bringing a measure of resolution to those families of victims whose deaths are attributable. Yes. To the troubles between 1969 and the signing of the Belfast Agreement in April 1998. Second, to re-examine all deaths say that word for me again, Ian.
Attributable.
Thank you. To the troubles and ensure that all investigative and evidential opportunities are subject to to thorough and exhaustive examination in a manner that satisfies the obligation placed upon the police service of Northern Ireland. And the third, to do so in a way that commands the confidence of the wider community. Already, I'm pretty sure everyone that's listening here would agree that they've failed in their three objectives already. It's my opinion, and I think it'll be shared by the many.
And I don't think it's a shock to anybody. No. You know, did anybody hold out any hope that anything other than that was going to happen? I mean, we had the late Paul McConville. Some people call him the Pink QC. I would never say that, but he was trying to say that, it should be similar to what happened in South Africa, the Truth Commission over there. And you go, what